Welcome back to another tutorial. This very basic tutorial is going to show you how to make an illustration. So the best way to make an illustration usually is to base it on an image. So what I've done, I've gone to Internet Explorer, I've Control-C, I've copied an image of a Nike tick, and I'm going to press edit paste, Control V, and it's going to place, as you can see, that Nike tick in. Now if you had a picture that was referenced and you want to place it in 2Ddesign, you can actually just go to import file. So you can either copy and paste it from somewhere or you can import it. So you can see here what I need to do is zoom out. I need to right click and resize so my Nike tick fits within my canvas, and then I'm going to move it over the top of the canvas and zoom myself back in. Now what we need to do is we need to use what we call a path. A path is a basic line that we can curve. We need to turn our grid lock off because we don't want it hugging to the grid. So you'll watch as I create a point now. I'm going to click right on the corner of my Nike tick. I'm then going to click roughly down here on the curve, and you can see how that's starting to change my line. I'm then going to click up here and then click again over my Nike tick, and then I'm coming down this way. Now as you can see, it doesn't look like a Nike tick at all. The idea when we're doing illustrations is to use as little points as we possibly can, and as well as that, we also, so if I go over to my attached toolbar here, we also want to make it as quick as possible to start with, so we make it quite rough. So you can see there, again, that does not look anything like a Nike tick. We just use as little points as possible to outline the object. The key to a good illustration comes to the editing. So when we actually start editing, you can see it's brought up a number of different anchor points. So what we call these are our little anchor points, and you can see how I can then physically move those points around. Now on the end are what we call our handles of our anchor points, and you can see as I select that I'm starting to change how my shape looks. So again, I'll bring that right in like so, and you can see with our friendly little reminder how it changes our shape. So what I can do is I can go around and make it so it almost looks identical to that Nike tick. So you can see that there. Now I know it's not perfect because I haven't spent a whole bunch of time on it, but you can see if I delete this, I've now got myself a Nike tick that I've created. Again, it's not perfect, but I would spend a little bit more time lining it up so it was nice and straight. But that's how we create our own very, very basic illustration. And then you can, change your feel, you can put color on it, you can change your line and your stroke as well to suit whatever your design purpose is. So that's how we create a very, very basic illustration. What I'm going to show you now is like, I guess, what we call a little cheat way. It's probably not the best way to do things, but sometimes it works better, especially with detailed illustrations. And the way we do that is, if you can see in Internet Explorer, imagine I wanted this image cut out on the vinyl cutter or engraved on the laser cutter. Obviously it's quite detailed to try and bring that image in like so. So we paste that image in. Again, it's very, very, very big, and so what I'm going to do is shrink this one. Now for some reason that hasn't come up. Sometimes the images don't come across properly from Internet Explorer. So what I'm going to very quickly do is save my picture into my desktop, just call it Silhouette, save it, come back into 2Ddesign, and I'm going to show you that other way that I mentioned previously, just to import our file. So I go down to my Silhouette, I open it up, I press OK, and you can see I've got my silhouette of my wolf there. Now what I could do is I could try and trace over it, as I suggested before, using my path and coming up with a variety of little detailed shapes, but that would take quite a while. Now the cheat way, as I said, I was going to show you what you do. There's two ways of doing it, either going bitmaps, vectorized bitmap, or down over here you've got this button here, which means says exactly the same thing. Now the point is, if you send this to the vinyl cutter and the laser cutter, this image won't come out. It won't do anything with it because it's a pixel based image come from the net. Usually they're JPEGs or PNGs or some other format. What you need to do is turn it into a line based drawing, which is based on anchor points and handles like that last one. So the way we do that is A, we either click over here, or B, we go to vectorize bitmap at the top. Now it will say, what do you want to vectorize? This picture of my wolf. As it loads, it's going to ask me some options. So as it's come up, it's asking me, do I want to do it in full color? Do I want to do it in monochrome? Or do I want to do it in grayscale? Now what I want to do is do it in monochrome because I just really want the wolf. And you can see what's happening is it's starting to get rid of certain parts of my image, because I just want the wolf. Now what I do is I'm going to change it obviously from the full color image to what it looks like now with my monochrome, and you can see it looks like now my wolf is silhouetted by the moon. So I press OK. And then it has some custom settings. Usually default is fine though, but you can play with them if you want. It's just mainly talking about how many anchor points there'll be. I then press OK, and you can see that that's changed my image to a vector-based image. The easiest way to tell is the white space goes see-through, so we can now see that our image is way too large. I'm going to bring him right back down to size. I'm going to move him over our original design of our Nike tick. I'm going to delete that, and as we zoom in, you'll be able to see this is a vector-based design because it's no longer just a picture, it's no longer pixels. Now one way is the white background goes see-through. The second way that you can tell is I can click on it and I can edit it, and you can see all those little nodes, all those little anchor points with their handles starting to come up. So I can actually individually start moving those points. So for instance, if I wanted to edit it again and I wanted to change the ear perhaps because I didn't think it was pointy enough, I could bring that ear out. So as you can see, it's created that. Now what you've got is an illustration that's actually been vectorized. It's now ready to be sent to the laser cutter or the vinyl cutter. You then just need to get it ready in the right way, which you should know which colors are to do what. So for instance, we can put it on no fill, we can apply that, we can press OK. We might want this just the silhouette done in blue, which means it's going to be engraved a lot quicker than it would on black on the vinyl cutter. And what we want to do is change our color to blue in our line color, so you'll see that it'll actually now trace around all those shapes that we have created with the silhouette of the moon around the wolf and the square, and vice versa. If you want it filled in and you wanted it black so that it etched it into your perspex, your acrylic or your wood, you can also do that. So other than that, you've had a good overview now of how to use all the basic functions in 2D design, and hopefully you guys will be able to produce some great things and have some great projects as well. Thanks.